Hello everyone, welcome to the SI UK India webinar. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we are now live with University of Exeter. Today we have Alexander with us. She will be taking us through this webinar. We'll try to answer all the questions after the presentation during the Q&A session. So let's start the webinar. Over to you, Alexander.
Thank you, Yukti. Hi, everyone. My name is Alex, and I just wanted to say a quick thank you for joining our information session for the University of Exeter. Today's session is going to cover why you should come to Exeter, our location and campuses, the courses that we offer, both postgrad and undergrad, employability and the community at Exeter, finances, and you will also be able to meet our alumni, and we will also have a Q&A with staff and alumni. Today, so just a little bit on myself. I was a student at Exeter, so I did both my undergrad and my master's here. I've been here for 8 years now, so I like to say I'm a bit of an expert on student life at Exeter and the university itself. I'm also joined by Amy, who is the regional manager for South Asia. I'm also joined by Akshit, who is a recruitment advisor based in India. And we are also going to be joined by an alumni member called Suraj later. So just really quickly, why Exeter? So Exeter is one of the top universities in the world. We are 169th in QS World University Rankings 2025. We are currently 11th in the UK, and we also rated gold in our TEF 2023 rankings. So the TEF, sorry, I just want to say I'm looking this way because I have the slide on this side. So the TEF is the Teaching Excellence Framework, which is a national scheme run by the Office for Students. The TEF aims to encourage higher education providers to improve and deliver excellence in areas that students care about the most, which is teaching, learning, and achieving positive outcomes in their studies. So we are one of 4 universities in the UK who received gold ratings in each of the 2 aspects of the assessment, which is student experience and student outcomes. We are also a runner-up in the Times Higher Education University of the Year in 2023, and we are also a Triple Crown Business School, which only 1% of business schools have this title globally. We are also a member of the Russell Group, which means that we are committed to excellence in teaching, research, and student experience, and that's a group of 24 institutions in the UK. And we are also taught by leading academics in a beautiful, safe setting in the southwest of England. So just a little bit more on the university itself. We were Business School of the Year in the 2022 Times Higher Education Awards. Devon and Cornwall is also confirmed as the safest places to live in England and Wales. So Devon and Cornwall are the counties of which Exeter and our Penryn campus are located. We are also number 1 in the Russell Group for Student Satisfaction in 2022, and we are also a top 10 UK university chosen by students. In terms of what we can offer you at Exeter, we have over £6 million in scholarships for international students per year. We also have an award-winning career service at Exeter and 92% graduate employability rate. We also guarantee accommodation for students if they make Exeter their firm choice or pay their deposit by the 31st of July of the year that they are coming. And you also have the opportunity to live in a safe and vibrant city close to nature. We're close to beaches, and there are a lot of national parks close by as well. It's also a fantastic location, not just in its beauty, but also its accessibility. So London is just over 2 hours on the train from Exeter, and it's well linked by public transport. So that's buses and trains. Just a little bit on our campuses. So this is our Streatham campus, which is our main and largest campus. This one is located in Exeter, again, in the county of Devon. This is 2 hours from central London by direct train, and this is where the majority of our courses take place. Then we also have our St. Luke's campus, which is also located in Exeter. This is about a 25-minute walk from our main Streatham campus, and this is typically where our medicine students are based, as well as our graduate school of education. Then we also have our Penryn campus. This is located about 5 hours from central London by train. And this is typically where you'll find courses like geology, mining, and some of our more sustainability focused courses. So it's a fantastic area for that. This is just a very quick video, kind of bird's eye view of the Streatham campus and the St. Luke's campus in Exeter. So I'm just going to play that and talk over it. So this is kind of the main area. This is Reed Hall, which is a really beautiful place you can have lunch. We also have tennis courts and this is our Into building for our foundation degree. This is the business school located on our main campus. This is one of our halls of accommodation called Holland Hall. This is the Great Hall where we host our graduations and some concerts. And yeah, this is Washington Singer, which is one of our buildings as well. This is St. Luke's. So again, this is where medicine mainly takes place, as well as the Graduate School of Education. And yeah, sorry. So in terms of the city itself, it is a small city. We are one of the most vibrant, attractive, and historically interesting cities in England. It is the capital city of Devon, like I mentioned earlier, and the city center is the greenest in Britain based on tree cover and the presence of parks. So the thing that you really notice when you come to Exeter is just how much greenery there is around, and it makes it a really beautiful place to live. And it's also got very clean air, which I personally really like. It's also one of the foodie capitals of the Southwest, so there's a large variety of food available, which is great. It's also one of the oldest cities in the UK, and it predates the arrival of the Romans in AD 50. So that means that when you walk around the city, there's some walls that you will see that are actually dates back to the Roman times. We are also one of the safest places to live, and Devon and Cornwall is ranked third for safety with the lowest crime rate in England and Wales. We are also a UNESCO City of Literature, and we are part of the UNESCO Creative Cities Network. So this is really rich in terms of heritage and culture and history. In terms of the university itself, what we can offer you is an education that gives you the best of both worlds in terms of being academically rigorous as well as purposely practical. So that means everything that you learn at the university can be applied in the real world in your careers in the future. So we have a very dedicated teaching team with excellent learning resources and support, and the business school offers a high level of professional exemptions, and we also produce able and employable graduates. We also have 18 subjects that are currently ranked in the top 10 in the UK. So you can see things like business and management studies, accounting and finance, marketing, economics, politics, psychology, et cetera, et cetera. All of those are ranked in the top 10 in the UK. And in terms of our undergraduate courses, these take place between 3 to 5 years, and you can go straight to your major. So that means there isn't that general year of study that you have in the US. Here you go straight to your major. So if you know what you want to do, then that's fantastic. We also have over 400 programs across 3 faculties at Exeter, and the majority of our courses offer the option for the year in industry or a study abroad year. In terms of how that takes place, this typically takes place in your 3rd year of university, and then you would come back for your 4th year and you would complete your degree. So tuition fees for that year abroad would be approximately 15% of your tuition, and tuition fees for a year in industry is approximately 20% of your tuition. And the reason that we charge a tuition fee or a percentage of that tuition fee in that year is because you can still access support services, and we recommend that you access those support services while you're on these year abroads or year in industry. There is also the option to follow a proficiency en route, which basically means that you graduate with a proficiency in a specific skill. So these options for proficiency include a foreign language, data science, entrepreneurship, innovation, law, leadership, or social data science. Students can find out if the course that they want to do offers this as an option on the course page. So we really recommend, considering that if that is something that interests you. And in terms of the graduate route visa, the undergraduate courses at Exeter are eligible for that. So that means that you can live and work in the UK for up to 2 years after your degree finishes. In terms of entry requirements, we're looking at between an A star AA and an ABB in the A level, or if you're doing the IB, we're looking at between 36 to 28 points. And for the CBSE, we're looking for a CGPA of 8.5 and above. And some courses will have subject-specific requirements. So my recommendation is to have a look on our website and ask your counselor how to meet those subject-specific requirements if there are any questions that you have about that, because those are really important. In terms of our master's courses, they are a 1-year master's degree at Exeter, and we have a wide range of programs across our 3 faculties, similar to our undergrad programs. Some of our master's programs do not need prior undergraduate degree in a similar subject area. So if you did your degree in a subject area and you kind of wanted to change, a lot of our degrees will offer that option if you don't have a prior degree in that subject area. So that's really good for people who have a bit of a change of heart. This is also eligible for the graduate route visa. So again, you can live and work in the UK for up to 2 years after your degree, and the application is via the main Exeter portal. So this means that this is on our website. So it's a very easy application process. You go directly from the course page and it's fairly straightforward. But if you have any questions, ask your counselor. In terms of entry requirements, we're looking for typically a 2.2 or a 2.1 equivalent for a UK bachelor's degree. And we do offer a number of English language waivers, and this counts as well for our undergraduate degree. So you will need to meet an English language requirement, as does any student at Exeter. And the waivers for this include a 12th waiver. We're typically looking for 70% in your English subject. Then we have the IGCSE, IB, or A-level English, and both of those have the 7-year validity. Then there's also the option to do the Duolingo English test, the IELTS, TOEFL, and a lot more. So my recommendation, again, is to speak to your counselor or have a look on our website for our English language requirements and waivers, and you'll see a very long list of waivers to give you more detail. We also have a selection of January 2025 entry courses. So this is the list here. So we've got business analytics, business and management, international business and strategy, marketing and business analytics, statistical data science, engineering business management, which is actually shared across the engineering and the business school, and international supply chain management, which is also shared across engineering and the business school. So both super interesting courses. Applications close on the 13th of December at 11:59 UK time. That's in the evening. And term begins on Monday, the 15th of January. In terms of your academic well-being, students are to complete a pre-arrival induction as well as an on-campus in-person induction to make sure that you're ready for your course when you arrive. It also gives you an opportunity to meet students on your course and ask any questions to your course leads or program leads when you get to Exeter. There's also a really good academic development program here at Exeter, so that includes things like workshops. So if you need help, for example, with your statistics module, you can go to the maths help desk and ask them to clarify things for you or answer your questions. There's also the opportunity for mentoring and online resources at Exeter. So each student will also get an academic or personal tutor, and that is somebody that you can go to if you have any questions, and they can help signpost you to the right services at Exeter. It's also a person that helps to oversee your progress and your well-being while you're at university. We also have student education services and info hubs, and this is where you will go for advice on practical issues. So for example, if you had a question about the format of an exam or a deadline of a coursework or how to work the online submission system, you can go to these info hubs and you can ask them questions and they'll be able to either help you or signpost you to where to go. We also have well-being and health centers on campus to give you advice on mental health, disabilities, stress, and support for study. In terms of specific services available for international students to support them while they're at university, we've got a lot. So we've got visa and immigration support, we've got well-being services, we have health centers, so that's the well-being center as well as a student health center where you would go for your kind of general practitioner appointments or your nurse appointments. Then you've also got campus security, which is also known as Estate Patrol on campus, and they are here 24/7, 365 days a year. So if you ever had a security or safety kind of issue, you would be able to contact them. Their number is on the back of your student card, and they're always there. We also have a bespoke welcome week for international students. So that's also known as Welcome Week, Orientation Week, also known as Freshers Week. And there is a program specifically for international students for that. And that includes things like shopping trips in the city to buy essentials, where to go for international food. There is also, if your parents are planning on joining you in your kind of first week at Exeter to help you settle in, there is a session for them so they can come and meet other parents and carers and ask questions to the university that, things they might have concerns about or, they just want some information on. There's an event for them. There's also an IKEA trip, info sessions on budgeting, and it's worth noting that some of these events do need to be booked, but all this information is sent to you before you come. We also have the Intercultural Cafe, which is a twice a week session, and it's a free hot drink and a pastry that you can come for. And last year they had thousands of visits to that cafe, and it's just a really good place to meet other international students and get to know people and just widen your network. We also have the Global Chums Mentoring Program, which is where you can meet students of all nationalities and you get a mentor. And They introduce you to things like societies and clubs. And if you have a question like, where do I find the best Indian restaurant, for example, they might have the answer for you, or they can find someone who has the answer for you. So it's really nice to just have that point of contact when you're at Exeter and settling in. We also have a lot of international festivals on campus, and one of them is Diwali. So Diwali is celebrated on campus, and we have musical performances. We have a big celebration in the forum, also kind of the main building where everything takes place. There's also a lot of opportunities to get involved in workshops during Diwali. And last year we had over 3,000 students attend. So it is a really big event on campus. And there are also a lot of other parties that take place across the city to celebrate Diwali. So that's amazing. We also have the Global Festival, which is hosted by the business school, but open to everyone. And this is where students come together to celebrate all of their cultures. And it's just a really nice event. So in terms of our career support at Exeter, we have an award-winning career service. We have a top 4 UK career service according to Student Crowd. We are one of the 10 most targeted universities by top UK employers. We had over 200,000 student engagements with the Career Zone every year, and 92% of our students are in or due to start employment or further study 15 months after graduation. In terms of alumni profiles, I really recommend having a look on our website to see our alumni profiles and just see what they're up to nowadays, where their degree took them, and anything that they learned at Exeter that helped them with their career. So we have a lot of those on our website, and I think Akshat and Amy can probably link that in the chat if they can. For the business school, there is an exclusive career support. So there's like a variety of kind of workshops and stuff available, but included in this are things like careers in whatever career you're interested in, talks and alumni panels, advice sessions, how-to skills sessions, one-to-one appointments and drop-ins with careers advisors, jobs and placement fairs. So last year there were 8 in-person fairs planned, mock interviews, peer mentoring. There's also the opportunity to do a LinkedIn photo shoot, again, specific to the business school, which is great. There's also access to over 7,000 employers through Handshake and Student Circus, which are the 2 apps that Exeter students have access to. These are apps that allow you to view job postings that are specific for graduates at university or students at university. We also have award-winning entrepreneurship and student startup programs at Exeter. We also have a very specific to Indian students, India Career Ready program, it's called. This is a bespoke hybrid program with live workshops each term with a dedicated member of staff. This was created in the business school, but it's available to all Indian students at Exeter. And the topics include working in the UK, including the graduate labor market and how to find opportunities, timelines, what to expect from that labor market once you graduate. They also cover the topic of what employers are looking for and how to impress, tips about British culture and interviewing in a British kind of work style. There's also the topic including working in India. So if you wanted to go back to India, we support you in getting ready for that. So again, what to expect from the graduate labor market, networking, finding opportunities online, how to impress Indian employers, as well as advice on gaining work experience and internships. So it's a really, really fantastic bespoke program for Indian students here at Exeter. In terms of our student community, we have 30,000 students from over 150 different countries. And from India in particular, we have 220 undergraduate students. We have 479 master's students and 37 postgraduate research students. So that's either a master's in research or PhD students. We have a huge alumni community at Exeter, which we really recommend you take advantage of. They're from over 183 different countries, and from Indian specific, we have 2,200 alumni and 850 in Delhi alone. So it's a really, really massive network that we have at Exeter. In terms of societies, we really recommend getting involved in societies when you come to university because it really helps you make friends and meet students from a different range of backgrounds, both culturally and program-wise. So as you can see here, we've got Drama Society, we've got Hide and Seek, we've got Law and Human Rights Society, Yoga Society, we've got Indian Society, ABBA Society, we've got everything, and there is a website that has all of the current societies, so we recommend looking through that. In terms of settling in, we have a lot of international grocery stores at Exeter, which are less than a 15-minute walk from Streatham campus, and we also have an international welcome program, which I discussed earlier. And in terms of places of worship, actually, do you want to come in and talk about this a little bit and what you found when you came to Exeter?
Thank you, Alex. Hello, everyone. I'm Akshat. The entire India team went to the UK 3 months back. We've spent close to 15 days in the UK, started out with North, then moved to Cornwall, spent 3 days in Cornwall, beautiful part of the city. We have our Penryn campus there, as Alex mentioned. The AQI was roughly 20, and so for someone who's born and raised in Delhi, we appreciate small things in life, right? There are many places to go in Cornwall. Beach is 10 minutes away. And then we moved to Exeter, which was roughly 2.5 hours via train. As Alex mentioned, it takes 5 hours from London to Cornwall and another 2.5 hours between Cornwall and Exeter. In Exeter, we were there for 6 to 7 days. We went to a place called Namaste, which is a South Indian restaurant. We truly enjoyed our meal there. We have the Exeter Gurdwara in the city center. So we went there, we saw, clicked some pictures as well. There's an Indian spice shop also, which has a lot of familiar brands that we could recognize. And it just makes you feel like home, which is a home away from home. So, yeah, that was really good as well. Yeah, we truly enjoyed our time. Thanks, Alex.
Cool, thank you, Akshat. Students also have access to a multi-faith chaplaincy who support all students through events like Connections Cafe and a soup lunch. So if you wanted to go there and meet people from all different backgrounds, again, you're more than welcome to. And you don't have to be religious either to attend this. And yeah, it's just a really nice way to meet people. So in terms of things to do, we have lots of things to do in Exeter. Lots of attractions such as the underground passages. We also have free tours throughout the city. We have a really beautiful cathedral, which I really recommend taking a look at. It's really big and it's just really beautiful, has a lot of stained glass windows. And sometimes there are events that take place there throughout the year, so keep an eye out for those. We also have the Roman Wall, which used to kind of border Exeter. We still have original remnants of those that you'll see throughout the city, which is really interesting. We have the quayside, which is down by the river, which is probably about a 15-minute walk from the city center, but it is a beautiful walk. And it's just a really nice way to see the water and have a coffee and just relax with your friends. We also have a museum in the city. Lots of shopping. So we've got H&M, Primark, John Lewis, a lot of kind of cosmetic stores as well, Zara. We also have the Castle Quarter, which is home to the famous Cavern Club in Exeter, Phoenix. So these two venues are where a lot of gigs take place. So if you're into music or entertainment, you'll see a lot of interesting events take place at those places. We also have Gandhi Street, which is pictured in the middle photo here on this slide. Beautiful street with lots of independent shops. And I highly recommend that restaurant called Red Panda, kind of on the corner there. They do really good bao buns. I go there all the time. We also have the West Quarter, which is full of quirky, unusual shops, and it's situated in attractive older buildings and interesting arcades. So that's where you'll find a lot of independent shops and things you can't find everywhere. Exeter is also a very kind of important destination for top sporting events and music, and we have a good mix of independent venues, as I mentioned previously. We have a lot of festivals throughout the year. So these include the Heritage Harbour Festival, the Quayside Shanty Festival, Exeter Street Food Festival, Exeter Craft Festival, Jazz on the Quay, anything you can think of, we probably have. In terms of accommodation, as I mentioned earlier, accommodation is guaranteed for unaccompanied first-year undergraduates and international postgraduates if they apply by the guarantee deadline. So that portal opens in April, and the guarantee deadline is the end of July of the year that you are coming. So if you're coming in September 2025, you apply by the end of July 2025. There's a wide choice of options. So there's self-catered, catered, and postgraduate only. Self-catered meaning that you cook for yourself, you do all your groceries yourself, and you typically share a kitchen, or if you have a studio, which is kind of a self-contained studio where you live by yourself, you can have your own kitchen too. There's the catered option as well, which is where there's a canteen. Students will go there for breakfast and dinner, and the food is there for you, basically cooked already. And then there's postgraduate only. So postgraduate only will be self-catered accommodation blocks, and you will be with postgraduate students. In terms of pricing, we're looking at between 113 to 309 pounds a week, and that includes all of your utilities and internet, etc. So that's really good when you're first coming to university abroad, because it means that you can budget properly, and it means that you don't have to stress about paying those bills and all that kind of stuff. So that really helped me when I first came to Exeter. We also have a residence live team, which is there to support you to make sure that everything is going okay in your accommodation, and they check on you throughout the terms just to make sure that you're okay. And there's also, again, 24/7 campus security, as I mentioned earlier. There are virtual tours available on our website, so I recommend having a look at that and then deciding which accommodation is best for you. And yeah. In terms of finances, we have a couple of scholarships available. So we have for January 2025 entry, we have the Global Excellence Scholarship, which is worth £7,500 off of your tuition fee for the first year of study. Students must have an offer before they apply. So we recommend getting those applications in as soon as you can so that you can be considered for these scholarships as well. That QR code goes to more information about the Global Excellence Scholarship for Jan 2025 entry. We also have the India Global Leaders Award, which is a £3,000 automatically applied scholarship for postgraduate taught, so that's master's degree students, offer holders from India. So those who have paid their deposit by the deadline will be automatically granted this scholarship, this award, which is £3,000 off their tuition fee. In terms of September 2025 entry, we are still waiting to hear on what those scholarships will be. So keep in touch with your SI UK counselor to learn more, and also have a look at our website because we will be updating those as soon as we find out. In terms of budgeting for life in Exeter, we recommend between £1,300 and £2,000 a month. I know this sounds like a lot, but it's still about 33% cheaper than living in London. These are just a couple of photos of life in Exeter. So we've got the cathedral, we've got a nice little restaurant on that independent street that I was talking about earlier. I definitely recommend trying a Devonshire cream tea when you're down here. It's one of my favorite things. It's basically a scone, clotted cream, and jam, and it's very, very traditional to the UK. Then we've also got lots of pubs, cycling paths, all very fun activities. And then again, just more inspiration for some more activities you could do while you're at university here. So you can go paddleboarding, canoeing, kayaking. We've got a beach, kind of a train ride away at Exeter. Obviously shopping, and yeah, national parks nearby. So I'm going to bring in our alumni member today. Suraj, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Hi, Suraj.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
Great
Amazing.
presentation.
Thank you. Would you like to introduce yourself, what you studied, where you're from, and what your current job role is?
Sure. So I'm from Bangalore, and I graduated from the University of Exeter back in 2011. So it's been a while. So when your team reached out to me, so I was wondering whether I would be relevant still, to make a talk here. But I'm happy to share whatever experiences I had, during my short 2-year course in Exeter. Right now, I work at LinkedIn. In the cyber investigation space, and I've been with them for almost 8 years. And prior to that, I worked for eBay for I think around 4 years. So yeah, this is basically my second job after my graduation. So yeah.
Amazing. And are you based in India or are you based in the UK?
Yes, I'm based in India. I'm based in Bangalore. Yeah.
Amazing. Sorry. Yeah, you said. Thank you. So I just have a couple of questions for you. So why did you choose to study at Exeter?
First thing being, it had a great. I think it was top 10 back then for business, accounting, and finance. So I graduated in business studies, and I made the second reason why I chose Exeter was. I made a second year entry into the undergraduate program. So usually undergraduate is 3 years. Since I was doing an American syllabus at the Christ University in Bangalore, they had a option where you can transfer the credits. So I was able to get into the second year into the undergraduate program and basically do my undergraduate in 2 years. Usually it's 3 years, but it was 2 years for at Exeter. So that was one of the reasons. And also, it had a good goodwill. Everyone talks about Exeter. It's among the top ranking, and even the counselors and everyone. I got really good feedback at that time when I connected with the alumni folks and everyone. So that's again one of the reason. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And what is your favorite memory from your studies at Exeter?
So yeah, it's very difficult to say one favorite memory. My 2 years was really eventful, and I think one thing which like comes out in my mind on the spot is basically, as you mentioned, the Diwali night. I mean, you're talking about Diwali celebrations, right? So yeah, as you said, Diwali celebrations are really grand at Exeter. There, I remember there was an Asian society. I'm sure there's still an Asian society, and I was part of that. And that was a great occasion to meet just not Indians, but there were Asians part of the society who came along to celebrate Diwali. So I got to meet a lot of folks from different parts of the world, and share my culture. And it was really eventful. That evening I thoroughly enjoyed, and there was firecrackers. How we do it in India. It was the same thing in Exeter. I really didn't miss home apart from my family. I think it was very well organized and done. So it was done by a student. It was organized by the student community itself. So it was very well done, and I think that was one of my favorite memory, I would say.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah, I'm glad to
Yeah.
hear that. Did studying at the university help your career in any way? And if you can elaborate on how we managed to help you?
Yeah, so I'm doing completely different from what I studied. I studied business studies, and I'm into cyber investigations, which requires a lot of technical knowledge in terms of SQL, Python, and network analysis and stuff like that. But where my experience helped me was basically the overall experience what I got from studying at Exeter, meeting people, and also the way the courses are taught. Basically, when I was in Christ, a lot of things were spoon fed. Like, what you'd had to study to basically get a particular score. But when I went to Exeter, everything was completely different. You're basically studying based on references to multiple books. You have to go to the library, refer multiple books in order to answer. And then also, it's about logical reasoning rather than just memorizing certain things. So that is what I really liked about studying at Exeter, and plus the teamwork, the project works. Like, I got to work with a lot of folks from different cultures. So that's where you start learning about working with people from different parts of the world. So let's say, like, I remember one of my best experience I had was for this module called Portfolio Investment Game. I don't know if the module still is there in business studies, but yeah. So I got to collaborate with people from Russia, US, European countries. So their working culture or the way they approach problems are very different. So this is something which I thoroughly enjoyed, and my basically it opens up your brain and start thinking from different perspectives. Like, okay, they have a different perspective about this. So yeah, I think those are the things what I learned from my course at Exeter. Yeah.
Cool, amazing. Tell us one piece of advice you have for students thinking about applying to Exeter.
From my experience, I think you need to choose your modules wisely. That is basically, just because uh, it's going to help you in your career, or it's going to get you somewhere, don't take it up. Only if you're passionate about it or you want to pursue that particular path, then choose the module. Like, I had made a few mistakes by taking up too many accounting courses, which I'm truly not, good at. Uh, so I think my first semester it wasn't great, but then I realized in the second semester that I should choose modules where what interests me, or what I want to pursue on a long term in terms of career. So that's first one. I think the second one would be time management skills. I was terrible at time management because uh, I was, I think, around 20, around the age 21, 22, and yeah, you are at the carefree attitude during those age, right? So you need to basically be focused on managing your time very well, especially when you're doing a part-time work and also studying. And when it's not as easy as you think. You need to basically be very organized and prioritize what you want to do. So yeah, the second aspect. And the third thing would be to build relationships, network. I still have a lot of friends who I'm in touch with, and who are in like great positions in terms of like their career, and who I can reach out to. Let's say I want to have a career change or have a career conversation, and also professors. On LinkedIn, so we are connected over LinkedIn, and I can reach out for some advice and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a great place to meet and network, and especially for undergraduate students, like it's the starting phase of your networking career, I would say. Like when you especially go to Exeter, university like Exeter and a different country, you will get a wealth of people giving you advice, and like different, like it's a melting pot for different cultures, and you need to basically utilize that and basically network with people and ensure that relationship lasts. So yeah, and yeah, stay financially responsible. It's especially folks going from India. It's not an easy. It's expensive, right? Like for us, when when you decide to do a course in UK, you need to ensure that you utilize the money in the right way, or not unnecessarily spend, because your students sometimes you tend to like you. I'm not saying that. There are a lot of options to spend in Exeter, but yeah, there are pubs and clubs where you probably like unnecessarily, go and splurge, but you just need to watch out for that. And then end of the day, you just need to have fun, and then like enjoy your experience. Uh, you tend to make mistakes. That's okay. If you're at the early stage of your like student careers, just have fun. Make a mistake, learn from it, and then move ahead. So that would be my piece of advice. Yeah.
Cool, amazing. Actually, I wanted to say on that first piece of advice you gave when it comes to choosing your modules, I
Yeah.
recommend to students watching this, all of our course pages have information on the classes that we offer at Exeter, also known as modules. So have a look at those. If you click the little hyperlink with the module code, it gives you a bit more information on that so that you know what to expect from those modules. Definitely a really, really good piece of advice. Thank you, Suraj. So we're going to move on now to a live Q&A with staff, as well as alumni, if anybody has any questions for Suraj here. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you for giving this insightful presentation. Now time for Q&A session. I will help you call out questions from the YouTube chat box. So the first question is, are there any opportunities for internship or work placement during the course?
Actually, do you want to take lead on the questions?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Suraj, maybe did you do any part-time jobs? Can I ask out of curiosity, were you involved in these things?
Yeah, I did quite a few part-time work there. I mean, I don't know if things still exist because it was a while back in 2011. So I remember working for this company called EDF Energy, and I did a sort of a support role, where, of course, there's a limit of 20 hours. So, like you could choose 2 days a week, and then it's a basic call center job which you can do. It's easily you can you can easily manage it with your course, if you're working like just 15 or like 12 hours or something. So in terms of part time, yeah, and in terms of internships, you probably may have to look for uh, uh, you know any web on LinkedIn, or maybe you can look out on any of the online platforms where probably there are companies which are which offer internships. But I mean, I think the bottom line is you're able to manage. You need to manage your internship and your studies together. So unless you're like 100% for it, you can very well manage your time. Only then go for it. Otherwise, I would recommend just focusing on your academics. Yeah.
Thanks, Suraj. I quickly wanted to add that, of course, there's a lot of benefit from the India Career Ready program. I think this was fairly new. This was 6, 7 years back. So, Suraj, I don't know if you were part of this or not, but now it has picked up quite a lot. Students from January 2024 intake, I'm still in touch with them over WhatsApp and calls and all. And they mentioned that there's a lot of research and teaching assistance jobs available on campus, librarian positions on campus, student ambassador roles on campus. So there's a lot of help that the internal machinery also needs, like as a university. So students can either be consumed in that and work in a safe, friendly atmosphere within the campus, earn 10, 11 pounds, whatever the minimum wage is during that time. Changes year to year, so they can be absorbed in that. They can also do unskilled job for exposure outside campus, bartending roles, fashion consultant, sales consultant, tourism, this and that. You mentioned BPO, Suraj. That's great for exposure to network with people and all. So I think yes, many options to play with. It depends on students how they want to, focus on their 24-hour and maximum productivity in the entire work week. Students also stay back in the UK, don't come back to India during vacation time, which is when they take consent from the university to be able to do full-time work. So the study visa does allow you to do that. So this is a great opportunity. Also, as Alex mentioned, we do undergraduate courses in 3+1 format, which is brilliant. You can either choose a study abroad year or you can choose an industry placement year. We also do this very uniquely for a few of our master's program as well, in the 1+1 format. This is brilliant because on a study visa itself, you'll be able to do full-time job, gain experience, maybe get consumed within the same organization you were working with. Yeah, so stay excited and just do your research, to everyone who's hearing this out.
What are the eligibility criteria for various scholarships?
I can take that. For the India Global Leaders Award, everyone, that's a £3,000 automatic and guaranteed scholarship. Alex mentioned that earlier. It's also on the website, so of course feel free to go and explore, check it out. That's £3,000 for master's students. For undergraduate students and for master's students, we've got the Global Excellence Award. This is for £7,500. And please note that this is not up to £7,500. This is either you don't get anything, or if you get awarded, you get the entire £7,500 amount, which is exciting, right? These two scholarships can be stacked together. So the £7,500 award and £3,000 award can be stacked together, making it overall 10,500. There's a 300-word essay that you need to write. This is after you get an offer in hand. The form is available on the website. We can share the link in the YouTube chat. There are typically 4 questions that you need to answer and make an essay out of it. And yeah, that's how you submit. Anything that anyone wants to add, feel free.
Actually, can I just add on just there? So the global excellence that Akshat mentioned, that's only for postgraduate students who are joining us in January 2025. So that's global excellence, which is worth £7,500. That one you have to apply for, and the global leaders is automatically applied. So those two are stackable, a really fantastic opportunity to join us for a master's starting in January 2025. We're currently watch this space for our September scholarships. So we're going to be excited to be announcing them in the next sort of month or so. So it's really important for you to keep posted with the SIUK counsellors, who will be able to tell you about the scholarships when we announce them. So we're in the process of sort of finalising our scholarships. But as Alex mentioned in the presentation, Exeter makes over £6 million available for international students and scholarships every year. So we are a university with some incredible scholarships, and it's just important that you keep posted, keep speaking with your counsellors. They can tell you about the application process, so advice like Akshat provided for January 2025, and we can help you, and the SIUK counsellors can help you through that process as well. So some really exciting scholarships, but definitely sort of keep in touch with the SIUK team who can help you through it as well. So thanks.
So next question is, how do students find a supervisor or mentor for their projects?
There we go. Unmuted. Actually, I'm happy to start this one, and then we can tag team. So this is a very, very common question that we get asked for students who are considering their PhD or their kind of degree by research. So there's two different ways that students can apply for a PhD opportunity at Exeter, either a project that already has a supervisor assigned to it. So browsing through the website, you'll see a really exciting project and it will say lead supervisor, co-supervisor. So that will already be in place. Or there will be projects that are available where a student would write their own research proposal and then have to approach a supervisor. So for that one, it's looking on the website, looking through the different academic profiles and seeing which academic sort of aligns to your research area. So again, keep chatting to the SIUK counsellors, chat to Akshat and his team as well, and they might be able to help on that as well. So yeah, I'll pass back to Akshat for any other advice as well.
I was just pasting the link for the PhD research topics. This just gives you an idea of what is currently happening, in the University of Exeter. Also, to quickly say that we are a Russell Group university. This group of 24 universities is renowned for research. And, even the case studies that you experience in the classrooms are not obsolete. These are current projects, new technologies, everything which is currently happening in the world, from Gen AI to every other, exciting topic in many areas. So I can paste a link and we can send it over.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so next question is accommodation guaranteed? How much do students typically pay in rent?
Maybe Alex, do you want to start the accommodation answer?
Yeah, I'll just go back to this slide here. So sorry, the first question was when do are students guaranteed accommodation? Was that Yukti? Yeah. Okay, so international students are guaranteed accommodation in their first year if they're an undergrad or during their master's year. The accommodation portal opens in April and you need to have an offer in order to apply for accommodation. So the guarantee deadline is the end of July. So you have between April and July to apply for accommodation. And this is guaranteed for international students. So that's the window you have, basically. In terms of pricing, we're probably looking between £113 per week to £309 a week. So that's depending on which accommodation you choose. We have a lot of options. So I recommend looking at our accommodation website on our website, and you'll be able to see each individual one and how much they cost. There's also a selection of contract lengths. So that's another thing that you want to keep an eye out for because that will change the total cost of the accommodation for your school year.
So I have covered all the questions from the YouTube chat box. Thank you for answering all the questions so well. Do you want to share any final words?
Amy?
Can I ask Suraj a question? Is that okay? Suraj, is there one thing that you would advise students remember to pack when they're sort of thinking about moving to the UK, thinking about moving to Exeter? Do you have any words of wisdom for one thing that you wish you'd packed in your suitcase when you were going to Exeter?
Okay. I packed a lot of unnecessary stuff like pans, a lot of utensils. I don't think so. It's really required to pack all of that. So basically, carry your winter clothes, which is definitely needed because it gets really cold in UK. Uh, the reason why I brought up the utensils is because especially Indians, we have this habit of carrying all the utensils and Indian masalas and all the things which you want to basically utilize that and go to UK and prepare your own food. So I you can carry your maybe ingredients or something, but I wouldn't recommend carrying utensils. I carried a few utensils which really didn't come handy back there, and it was unnecessary weight in terms of baggage. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. Apart from that, uh, yeah, I think you can buy most of the things in UK itself. It's just that the prices would be slightly different, but I would still uh, you know recommend that you go there. Probably you can rent out utensils because these are things which a student would require. Just carry your clothes, and maybe like a few books or something. Otherwise, in terms of like settling into a house, all the stuff what you want, I think those things would be already available in Exeter. I'm sure a lot of things would have changed in terms of stores and everything. So probably you can purchase things there, and then or there would be options to buy from students who are actually leaving. I realized that after going there that there were a few students who were moving out of Exeter, so they wanted to basically give away a few of the utensils for free. Some of them were like selling it. So there will be a lot of options once you go there. So don't carry your utensils or any of the kitchen items and stuff like that. Just carry your winter clothes, any books which you want to carry. Apart from that, I wouldn't recommend carrying anything else. So yeah.
That's fab. Thanks, Suraj. And I think just quite reassuring on both fronts, although people might think Exeter's a smaller city, you can get everything there. Sainsbury's now in the UK has soy sticks, which I always bring back from India, and now I know I can get them off the road. So I think that's hopefully reassuring. And also that point on community as well, the fact that students want to connect with each other and want to kind of give people their pans when they're leaving and stuff. Hopefully that's quite reassuring again on the points that Alex and Akshat were talking about, a kind of friendly, welcoming environment for students coming in. So yeah, I wish everyone lots of luck with their applications and with the fantastic support of SIUK. And I'll hand back to Alex and Akshat for some final words of advice as well.
So thank you so much, everyone, for your valuable time. All the audience, if you have any further questions, please feel free to contact the SIUK India office. For more update, do follow us on our social media handles. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks, Siddhi, for arranging this. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Suraj, for your time.
Thanks, everyone.